Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to Triple N Media. I am NIK NIKAM. In this presentation, we are going to look at how to increase our monetization and subscriber rates in YouTube. So let us begin with the main feature presentation. Our main goal is to increase subscriber base and by doing so, increase monetization on our videos. How can we accomplish that? Let us start off with an example. Apple, if you look at it, that's all their logo. That is all their story. That is their product. Apple has developed its product based on a quality that is unparalleled in the history of technology. Apple is widely accepted because they saw what millions and millions of people wanted to see on their smartphones. So they focused on experience, they focused on quality, they focused on features, they focused on what is most important to their consumers. And by doing so, now Apple has $192 billion in cash, most of which is overseas, that needs to be brought back to the United States. That's another story. And Apple has more than 1 billion subscribers. So what do we get from this? What can we extract from this Apple story to our small boutique shops on YouTube? It doesn't matter however small our boutique shops on YouTube are, we all are in the same boat. Remember, Apple has iPhone, Apple has MacBook Pro, Apple has iMac, and a whole host of things. What do we have as creators of YouTube content to increase our monetization and increase our subscriber rate? If I were to sum up the whole thing, here is it. We are the product and we are the story. I don't know if that makes sense, but that is the reality. All of us are doing this because we have a passion. We have a passion to share our ideas. We have a passion to help other people. We have a passion to entertain other people. And we have a passion to prank other people. But I don't do that one anyway. And we have a passion to use comedy and all kinds of things. We have a passion to help other people in doing things better. So in other words, we are the story and our stories are part of us. Like Apple, if we focus on our story, if we focus on ourselves as what we really want to share with the consumers as what they are looking for, the money and the subscribers follow automatically. Well, it is not that easy and simple as it looks to be. So we know what we have to do, taking this Apple story and translating it to our one man, one person story and product, which is we. And how can we get this so we can have maybe 10,000, 15,000, 100,000, million subscribers? We all have to start with 0 subscribers. In my case, I started like about 10 years ago or so, or more than 10. The first 7 years, it took me to reach 10,000 members. And in the next 3 years, the membership went from 10,000 to 26,200 as of today. Ours is Triple N Media. Just like a television cable news network, we are an internet media. So we focus on education, entertainment, news, self-help, do-it-yourself projects, community events. So we cover a broad variety of programs. But anyway, if you look at what is creating all these projects and videos, which comes to almost 1,500 videos on our Triple N Media YouTube channel. You can just check them out. How did I do it? Okay, let's start with how do we prepare ourselves and how do we tell our stories. So the first thing we need to do is we need to define ourselves as what we are. what we are trying to share with the community which we want to engage, and what is our story. We had to create a storyboard. Every time you make a presentation, you start off with a storyboard. Then you create your cover. Then you create your content. You create a flow of thoughts through your story. You try to tell the story in the best possible engaging fashion. And hopefully the audience would have learned something or entertained, or they now know how to do certain things better, and they got information about a product they were analyzing or thinking of buying. Now let me show you behind the scenes as what my studio is set up. It is not totally set up at this time because I just moved to a new place, so I'm still getting some of the supplies to set up my backdrop. When I had my previous studio, I had a green screen where I could completely change the whole ambience, whatever I wanted to. But right now, that's why you are seeing the wall behind, because I have ordered certain curtains and banner frame. Once I get it, I will have a totally different backdrop altogether. But let's look at what is in front of me. And I'm going to walk through every one of these items to show how every one of the items come together to create this video, to create this story. And even the way I am dressed makes a big difference, and I'm going to explain those things. Okay, this is my studio. As you can see here, I have speakers, I have 2 monitors, here are some lights. I'm going to go through each one of them. Here's my microphone, and there is my sound box. I'm using a Logic C920 webcam, and this is my computer, and behind is another light. Okay, let's continue here. Okay, what I want to do is I want to focus on the setup here. My table is set up so that I am facing the camera directly without any interference whatsoever. Even though I have the microphone which is very close to the monitor, you hardly ever see it, and I can cut it off in the final processing. Okay, here I started off preparing for this presentation with this cover image. I just did a video on how to use free web-based sites to create these kind of graphic images. So our aim is to increase our monetization, increase our subscriber base. So that's where we're going to start. But actually our starting position is about ourselves and our story. Let me start off by saying a microphone. Microphone is a very important aspect of any YouTube presentation. The audio has to be crystal clear. The audio has to be clean and crisp. We need to make sure there is no hissing noise, the so-called 60 cycle noise, which can be reduced by using certain software. And this is the Focusrite 2x2 sound box, where the sound from the microphone goes into this box and it is connected to my computer through an USB cord. And from there, the output goes to my monitor speakers. This is a pretty high quality microphone used for singing purpose. That's why I can control the quality of the voice that it is recording. Number 2, I have 2 monitors. So anything else I want to use in this presentation, which is not going to be recorded, is placed on this monitor. For example, I can bring up my directory here, which has all these pictures which I took using my iPhone. I mean, I could have used my high D750 camera, but I just decided to use my iPhone to take all these pictures. And once I took all these pictures, I created a PowerPoint presentation. That is my storyboard. So I'm just explaining to you all these things. Then the lighting. This looks like a very simple light, but as I said, I have produced 1400 to 1500 videos. I used to have a big television studio setup with big LED lights, 2 lights in the front, 1 light behind, lighting up the green screen. But since I moved to a new place, I'm using this, but I'm going to explain to you there are a lot of interesting things. These lamps are like $15 to $20 in Walmart. Then these frosted are a little bit pricey, they're like $12. I think I got it from Walmart or from Lowe's. Because these are so heavily frosted glasses, the light doesn't burn the face, so-called the flash burn. We don't get that one. Plus, the lights are also placed at a distance. One is closer, which is the main light, which is to my left. The right one is much farther down, and I will show you in another picture. So that is like the fill light. And in the back side, I have a light. But once I get my backdrop, I'm going to be using some psychedelic lights to give different moods depending on the kind of topic. If it's an entertainment, then we're going to have some purple, blue, orange, all different colors. But if I'm giving a real like medical presentation about when is this COVID-19 pandemic going to end, then I'm going to dress up in a suit, put on my tie, and give a nice presentation like I'm sitting in like a main cable TV network. And I have videos of that I can show. So it is important how we present ourselves, not just our story, based on the occasion. Okay, I talked about this one. The light bulb inside is a 60 watts LED light, 5000 Kelvin. If you don't know what Kelvin is, it is the color temperature, which goes all the way from orange, like the sunset, which is 3200 Kelvins, all the way to blue sky, which is like an overcast sky with a Kelvin value ranging from 8,000 to 12,000. The bright sunlight we see in the mid-morning is approximately 5,000 Kelvins. This light is 5,000 Kelvins, but actually the color temperature was changed to 4600 Kelvins to give a little more warmer color of the skin. Because if I put it to like 5200 Kelvin, everything will just look white. It's kind of like frosty. It looks kind of fuzzy. So that's why we have to into account. I am in fact using a Logitech camera which has a software which can control the brightness, it can control the temperature, it can control the intensity and gain, color compensation, all kinds of stuff. But that's a different topic altogether. Let's continue further. Okay, this is the backlight, which is sort of just like a stopgap right now, because the main thing I'm waiting for is to get the banner frame where I can hang a 8x8 green screen, so I don't have to worry about what's going to be behind that. That's going to be decided in the post-processing, because I have beautiful images. Let me see if I can show some of the images I have here. Okay, here are some of the images I have. Okay, see here I have some beautiful backdrops. If I want to give a nice educational program, I can use this library background. Like I was telling you about television studio, this is my television studio backdrop. If I'm giving a medical presentation on COVID-19 pandemic or various causes for heart attack, I'm a cardiologist, that's why I'm talking about that, then I'm going to use this one where I look very professional. If I'm going to interview somebody on Zoom or WebEx or something, this is the background I'm going to be using, dressed up in a beautiful suit with not this particular glasses. Let me show you which glass I'm going to be using. I'm going to be using this particular frame to look a little more professional. Let me get back to this glass here. Okay, so this is the frame I'm using, and I have another one which I'm always fond of, and this is my favorite one, and this is the backdrop I use so that I actually look like, in fact, I did a Zoom presentation one time, and one of the ladies, the first thing she said was, "Boy, you look like a TV anchor person." I said, "Well, you see, when you're in Rome, you got to act like a Roman. When you are addressing a political rally, you need to dress up like the rest of them." Anyway, let's continue with this one. The Focusrite, I talked to you about this one. The good thing about the Focusrite is It has connections. You can actually connect two microphones, but that's not the case here. We can individually adjust the volumes, and it also has a phantom power, which makes sure it's turned on when you're recording. I just was getting a little shock. I thought maybe I didn't turn it on because it looks white here. Actually, I looked at the monitor there and it is turned on. And here we can turn down the volume when you are recording so we don't get a feedback. And it is very, very good. It's one of the best sound systems for a budget. It costs like $145. The next thing is you don't need headphones when you're just doing a monologue trying to share your story. So, but I do have this one, which is Sennheiser HD280 Pro. It was like $100, and it is a very good quality headphone. And I use this cap when I'm doing more casual presentations, or if I'm doing a comedy, like I have a couple of videos on White House comedy, where some interesting topics come up and I try to analyze and critique and give my own presentation. So I dress up differently. And you are wondering, what are these glasses? For your information, let me tell you something. When it comes to presentation, when it comes to television, it is all whatever that is seen on that little tube called the television screen. It's called the tinsel tom. Anything below that 1 inch or anything above 1 inch, it doesn't matter. And these are all $10 sunglasses, which I bought from Walmart, removed the glasses, and I just use them as frames. Why? Because sometimes the frames add some accent. Let me try the other one that is not tried so far. This is a third one. It is actually this one. Let me see here. Okay. How do I look? So which one did you like? Please leave your comments below so maybe I can use the right one. So this is the one which is like a geek. This is more like a mystery. You know, you're trying to do comedy, things like that. And this is more professional, like a TV presenter or a doctor. Well, I'm a cardiologist, so I guess I have to plug that in. Doctor. So I use different glasses based upon the occasion. Everything matters. That's what I'm trying to say. Because we are the product and we are the story. And our story has to be gripping. Let's proceed. And we make these graphics. The software I am using to record this presentation is called Camtasia. It is a very good quality product, except the webcam kind of stinks because the resolution of this webcam, even when I set it to 1080p, as you can see, the picture is not as good as you would get with a GoPro or a DSLR camera. I have Nikon D750. I can hook it up and get good quality picture, but then I have to process two different videos. So I'm trying to figure out a way how I can bring that camera into my Camtasia, but at this time I don't think it's going to work. Anyway, so this is a computer I have, which is an i7 computer with a very good graphic card. I don't remember because it's a couple of years old. And it has a 500 SSD C drive and a terabyte hard drive. So I can run programs of any length and still have excellent files without having any hiccups. So in a nutshell, that is my story. That is me and my product. In addition to that, I also wrote a half a dozen books. And I wrote a book on COVID-19 pandemic. You may want to take a look at that on Amazon.com. Thank you so much for watching this presentation. This has been a Triple N News presentation. I am Dr. NIK NIKAM from Houston, Texas. Please do subscribe to our channel. We will see you next time.